Hi, so today we are going to be discussing a myth. The all Igbos are light-skinned myth. I feel like I should probably mention that I'm Igbo. I don't know if I mentioned that before. So, for those of you who don't know what that is, yes, it is a tribe in the southeast of Nigeria. And it's commonly known, well, people from there are commonly associated with being light-skinned. And so let's explain what light-skinned is. Light-skinned is normally used to refer to a person with light skin, with a lighter skin tone than the average, for their racial background, right? In this context, it's for someone who is lighter than the average black person. Now, let's backpedal a little bit because we're going to talk about what kinds of people can be found in the Igbo land that are classified as light-skinned. So, and I feel like my family is like a great example of this. So in my family, when we're talking about people who are, now obviously, we have people who are dark and we have people who are light. And in my actual family, I think it's actually more 50-50 actually. Or maybe even higher. Okay, we'll leave it at 50-50 for now. So you have people who have the medium to light brown skin tones. You have people who have like the very light, almost like you call it a tan skin tone. And then there are people who have albinism. And I don't just mean me. There are people who have red hair and brown skin tones. People who have, obviously the classic brown hair with a light brown skin tone. Oh yeah, and I also want to throw this in there just because I have family friends like this. There are people who they will be light brown, but they will have like sandy blonde hair. So the dark, that like very dark honey blonde, almost like that color 27. Yeah, they will have like that shade of blonde and will have lighter eyes. Yeah. Listen, and then some people just have like light brown hair. Like, yeah, there's a lot going on. Yeah, and then we have people who are dark. And how we classify that is someone who has a very dark brown skin tone and black hair and very dark colored eyes. I don't know anyone in my family who has a very dark skin tone, dark hair, and light eye. Now let's cover the myths before we talk about the truth of why. So, the common myths are that during the slave trade, the Portuguese came and, did what they did with the women of my tribe. And then another one is the British came and also had their way with the women of my tribe. And then another one is that we're all secretly Jewish. So the myths normally rely around the idea of racial mixing. Light is normally seen as, so being light equals mixed is a very Western theory. It's a very Western stereotype. Yes, all lightness or all beauty must be attributed to the West, right? That they're light because they're mixed, which things like slave trade happened like hundreds of years ago. And then the theory about the Jews, that's like thousands of years ago. So no, but let me tell you what the real answer is because I actually know it. Hi. Yes. It's our pigment genes. Exactly just how the pigment genes in the southeast of Nigeria go. They just do produce lighter people. Now, there are a lot of people who are just light-skinned and then also produce a lot of people who have albinism, like me. Like, yeah. Because Remember, to be lighter than the average means that your genes are doing something different. Now, racial mixing is one way where you can have different genes, but there are so many. I haven't read that deeply into how gene science works, but there are so many little, gene codes going together, and like there's a lot, okay? So you can imagine that if you have one or two things that are different to people of another ethnic group, you're gonna have different results in how you look. I mean, even within groups of people, we can tell who's what. Like anyone who comes from a country with tribes, you know that you have features that are ever so slightly different to people of another tribe in your country, and that's how you're telling. Like, yeah. Now, another thing is that the southeastern Nigeria is actually very foresty. It's like a rainforest climate. So, there's a lot of trees. And where there are a lot of trees, there's a lot of shade. And where there's a lot of shade, you won't be getting tan. And when you're not getting tan, you're lighter. So if you come from, like, the darkest people in my country are from the north, where it's literally the beginning of the Sahara Desert. Coincidence? I think not. That kind of foresty covering for centuries, you're going to end up with people who just are lighter. It's still foresty now. Why do people hang on to this myth? Okay, so the main reason I can think of is because, well, there are a lot of people who fetishize having a partner that is lighter than themselves. Same way there's a lot of people who fetishize having a partner that's darker than themselves. Now, I don't 100% think fetishization is wrong depending on how you go about it. Or am I thinking of admiration and confusing it with fetishization? Of course, there are some people who just admire and prefer, and then there are fetishizers. Let's stick to admire and prefer because I can explain that better. Okay, like some people, they just want a lighter partner. A lot of the time, both in real life and online, you'll see people making jokes and laughing about how they want to secure a fair Igbo wife, or they want their light-skinned Igbo wife. Mind you, I'm not complaining. Being desired is nice, and I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it could be for, I don't know, we could talk about British colonialism and how that played a part. And yes, so we know light good, dark bad. Okay. But then some people, they just like light. They just like, as much as people love the way they look, they don't want someone who looks exactly like them. It's kind of like how I don't really care for blonde hair on guys. Whether you make him regular light skin or whether you make him like monoracially light skinned, like he's just light, he just happens to have that hair color, or whether he's got albinism, or whether you make it someone who's mixed that has blonde hair. I don't care for blonde hair on guys. Make his skin darker, make his skin lighter. If that hair's blonde, I don't really want it. But I love blonde hair. But I don't want but if you have more than just like frosted tips, I'm not checking for you. So it may be like that with these people, like, in as much as they may love their own skin tone, they may just want a partner who doesn't have it. I don't know what. Anywho. So they want a light partner. Yeah, and so they hold on to this belief maybe because they feel like they're more likely to find the light partner. Yeah, if you have the belief that there are many of these things around, whatever it is, if you don't have scarcity mindset, you're more likely to find that thing. And so if you found one and your friend found one and your other friend found one, you're now going to believe this is a thing. This can commonly be found. This is not rare. This can commonly be found. Like I said before, the stereotype is only partially untrue, and there are people in the other tribes in the southern half of the country who do have lighter skinned people, but the population size of them is just smaller. As in, the population size of people who are light is smaller. Mind you, the three biggest tribes, Igbo, Yoruba, and Hausa, are the three Igbo people have the least amount of people. So I guess that's also why it's surprising. Imagine, like, let's use small numbers now just for a second. Imagine you have 100,000 people in a tribe, and like 40,000 of them are light. And then you have 200,000 people in a tribe, and only 30,000 of them are light. And so another truthful theory, this one just makes common sense. Another truthful theory is people just kept picking people who were lighter, and so you have people who are not light that want a light partner, and people who are light that also want a light partner. So you have a lot of people who now have a light partner. They have a light partner, they create like babies, so on and so forth, and then those babies, they grow up to see their own beauty, and then, like, you know, they keep picking people who are light. And in general this can be seen as dramatic. Yeah, being light-skinned and West African is seen as dramatic because Africans in general are not really associated with the concept of light skin in any capacity, especially not West Africa, and especially not Nigeria. So you have these group of people where you're hearing, oh my gosh, so many of them are light. It sounds so dramatic, but I mean, it's a high amount, but it's not, you know, everyone. Yeah, it's... And what is the problem with saying that it's everyone, mind you? The problem that comes with that is that the problem that comes with that is that when darker skinned people say that they are of this tribe, people are looking at them funny and going, oh, how can you be from there if everyone is Igbos light skin? I don't know where you're from, but yeah, maybe a Yoruba, maybe now because you don't match up to this tribe stereotypes, they're saying, oh, you don't look like you belong here, which is not nice. And you might say, isn't it disingenuous for your pale ass to be caring about this concept? Not really. I mean, I just like talking. And also, right is right and wrong is wrong, man. I don't know, I like to do the right thing when possible. Like, if it's not going to cause like some great detriment to me. I mean, what's gonna happen if I say, oh yeah, you know, not all Igbo people are light? What's gonna happen? Nothing. You see, as I've said it, skin's still glowing, the sun is shining. This is England, so that means something. Oh wait, hold on, it's going away behind the cloud. As soon as I said that, wow, okay. The point is, nothing is gonna happen if you just simply acknowledge, hey, yo, this ain't true. I'm not doing that thing where like people fake bring themselves down, like, oh, you know, light doesn't mean anything. But like, you know, at the same time, I'm just telling you the truth. You know, like some people who are like will bring themselves down in a way to try and uplift people who are dark, when really, I don't know, I don't think that's all that helpful. Like I've said, just treating the people in your life who are dark skinned with the same respect and common decency that they show you, if they're showing that to you, is enough. And if someone isn't showing that to you, you can do tit for tat, or you can just leave them where they're at. I don't know, the choice is yours. If you want to do tit for tat with people, regardless of racial background or colorings, I hope you can fight. Because some people are really prepared to lose it all over a little argument that they've had. Listen, some people are crazy, but that's you. That's not me. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed my video on why all Igbo people are light skinned. Why all Igbo people are not. I hope you enjoyed my video. I hope it was informative. I hope you learned something new. I'm doing a lot of hoping here.